It's DMO Speaks, the master motivator, bringing the MIJ, the motivational, inspirational juice from the ATL to you. It's going to be fire. Are you ready for DMO Speaks?
Good afternoon, ATL, and welcome to the DMO Speaks Show. Right here on WIGO 1570 AM. You know, you can also watch live or listen live on WIGOAM.com. Again, that's WIGOAM.com. Of course, every Monday between 12 and 1, we'll be bringing what I call the MIJ. If you've been tuning in every week, you know what the MIJ is, the motivational and inspirational juice that we try to bring to the ATL with conversation and exciting dialogue and callers and motivational experiences where we get to talk sports and championship chase and all of those great things that you've heard in our previous weeks. We're excited to bring you all things inspirational and motivational right here on the DMO Speaks Show at WIGOAM.com and WIGO 1570 AM. Again, thank you for tuning in to the DMO Speaks Show right here in the ATL, coming to you live. And we'll be right back with our first segment called Motivational Moment.
We were not blessed with an easy path. We never asked for one. Easy softens the will. Humble beginnings. We've put in the work. Knocked down, but we get back up. We pursue the dream. How we respond to adversity defines who we are. We're all an extension of each other. Our resolve is strengthened from the lessons of defeat. Devastated. Rebuilt. Our unity was born from necessity, a brotherhood. Our standard defines who we are. We persevered when nothing came easy. Even in our greatest accomplishments, we tasted bitterness. Now I know I'm preaching to the choir, but the hardship and the pain, those are the prerequisites to the greatness we seek. So we pick ourselves up, we move forward, and we learn from our history. We come together, we bond as one. Our bond, unbreakable. Our spirit, relentless. It's in brotherhood we trust. In brotherhood we fight. In brotherhood we rise. We seek something greater than ourselves, the ultimate prize. Rest assured, others will stand in our way. But they can't know, they can't understand our resilience, our resolve. They can't know the purpose that unites us, the standard that we uphold. They can't know the force we've become in brotherhood. It's in brotherhood we trust. In brotherhood we fight. In brotherhood we rise. Welcome back, ATL, to the DMO Speaks Show. As I said, breaking away from my previous segment, I welcome that we would open the segment with the motivational moment. And today's motivational moment is all about the voices. The golden voice, to be exact. James Earl Jones. And for those who may not be familiar with the great actor, voiceover, tremendous Hollywood star, the Lion King. Some of you may remember him from the character Mufasa, Field of Dreams, Kevin Costner. You build it, they'll come. Coming to America. How about his segment with Eddie Murphy? Star Wars, as he played the great character Darth Vader. Hunt for Red October and Clear and Present Danger are really just a few of this iconic actor movies where the voice of many generations, he's got a voice that spans some 60 years and it's captivated us all. When you hear James Earl Jones's voice, it resonates and immediately you pause and you feel like you're hypnotized with his ability to unctionate his words and that raspy, deep, seemingly powerful voice, that basso profundo C2 to C4 range that he separates. He literally pulls himself from everybody else in the industry and goes down deep into an area where it's impeded by most, but not for the great James Earl Jones. A voice like no other, a golden voice, even at that. There are a handful, just a handful, a small sample of golden voices we get to be exposed to and to listen to. When I tune in and hear James Earl Jones, it's as if the mind goes into a place of fascination. He comes across, and when you meet a James Earl Jones and a voice of the ages, stop for a moment and pause. You've actually caught lightning in a jug and don't realize it. What you're hearing is something very few of us ever get to experience. The great voice, the golden voice of James Earl Jones. Up next is Extra Extra. And I get the opportunity to have in studio my unbelievable special guest. And in this next episode, we have the golden voice of Atlanta's own Katie Bowen.
There's nothing like family. At the end of the day, when the sun sets, that's all you have. Ultimately, that's all you need. A bunch of brothers bleed and sweat together, fought through summer, all the lifting and running for moments like these, because you don't ever get them back. Thank you guys for your heart and soul, because that's what you're gonna put in it tonight. You're gonna do it for the guy to your left and the guy to your right, because that's all that matters. Guy to your left, guy to your right. You know what time it is. It's time to turn the yellow jackets loose. We didn't come here to play around. Came to take care of business. Responsibilities the coaches have passed down to them. Let every man take his assignment seriously. Let him walk with confidence. Let him handle every moment. Let him stand in the face of the challenger. And don't retreat. Empower these men to do what they came here to do. And we'll sing in the end. We don't fight! We don't fight! We can't fight no more! We can't fight no more! We can't fight no more! We can't fight no more!
Look, we know that boy's gonna ask again, so let's be ready.
Fine, I'll be him. You ready?
Ready.
Mom, could you hook me up with a Go phone?
You'll run up the bill, son.
Yo, that's whack, Moms. Go phone is totally different.
What? It'll only cost me an arm?
Chillax. It has unlimited talk and text.
Seriously?
Word.
Okay, we'll get a Go phone.
Really? Really? That is the bomb.
Do you even know what the bomb means?
Yes. No.
Go phone, only from AT&T. With unlimited talk to 65 million wireless AT&T customers, and now unlimited text to anyone on any network. AT&T, your world delivered.
Welcome back to the DMO Speaks Show. Thank you, ATL, for tuning in on Mondays 12 to 1. And here we are now in one of my just favorite segments. I get to have in studio a very special guest every week. So I've told you before, we're going to be bringing in individuals from all walks of life. It's going to really speak life into our lives and your life. So I'm excited to have on set, in studio, and before I say the name, when you hear the voice, there's only one voice like it. In our motivational moment, we talked about the golden voice, and you're going to hear it in just a moment. Welcome to DMO Speaks, Mr. K.D. Bo.
Thank you for having me, man. First of all, how is the voice going to tell me about my voice? What am I adduciating? I'm doing something.
You're enunciating.
I didn't know what I'm doing. I'm enunciating. Yeah, how you doing, brother? It's good to see you.
I'm fantastic. I appreciate so much you taking the time to come on DMO Speaks, man.
Yeah, man, I'm honored to be here. I've been a fan for a very long time, brother. You have a presence about you, and when you speak, it just enunciates, maybe? I don't know what it is.
It enunciates, it enunciates,
Hey!
all the eights.
The fact that you speak, it further confirms the presence that we all see. And then when you open your mouth and speak, we feel it. So I'm honored to be on with you.
Well, I appreciate that. I'm going, you know how they say in basketball, you pass me the ball, I get it, I pass it back to you.
Okay.
Somebody gonna shoot in a minute. But I'm passing you back the ball because when we hear Katie Bowe, the voice of ages, in the Atlanta market, it's extraordinary. The work you do with the Atlanta Falcons, not just the Falcons, but the community at large, and so many of our people in the business community, etc., call on you for voicing their work and hosting their shows. And I saw you down at the Super Bowl that was just recently in Atlanta. Just seeing you just do your thing, man. I tell you, tell me, when did you come to realize that voice you have? I mean, I love talking about it, and I really don't like. I jokingly say I don't like hearing nothing but when he talks. I'm more into how he sounds than I am into what he says, and I know better. I need to be into what you're saying. But tell me, how did you come to the point of knowing that you had this incredible talent?
You know what? The funny thing is, I was a short kid growing up, tried my hand in sports, did okay in football until I got hurt, did okay, and I wasn't good in basketball. I'm tall now, but I wasn't then. So I was this kid with a light voice, wrestled, I was okay, then we moved schools. So I couldn't really get into sports like I wanted to. Wow. And so I didn't realize I had a deep voice or a prominent voice until I went to college. Oh, wow. And the girls were stopping me. And they was like, hey, psst, psst, come here. What's your name? I said, my name is Keith Bowe. He said, oh, say my name. I said, well, I don't know your name. You know, I was so green. I was a virgin raised in the church. I didn't know I had no swag at all. Oh, wow. I eventually was able to get my swag off layaway, and I was able to, do a little better with it. But I went to the radio station, and the lady that was behind the desk, I asked her what time it was, and she said, she told me the time, and she gave me an application to work. Really? And I never filled it out. And so the next semester in college, my work study, for some reason, got moved from the library to the radio station. And that's where it began.
Unbelievable. Who would have imagined that story and how it just took off from there? And you've been following that path ever since.
Yeah, that and one of my mentors now, Mitch Faulkner, came to the school, and he was calling everybody out, in the room and said, hey, what's your name? And somewhere during this conversation, he said, a lot of people don't have prominent voices like me and Mr. Bo here. And I'm like, whoa, you remember my name. So afterwards, he said, hey man, if you're ever in Atlanta, would you come on to On My Productions and spit on the mic, is what he said. Wow. And so I'll give you the story. I don't really tell people this story, but they were giving out internships from my school in Elizabeth City, North Carolina, to come to different various parts of the state to work for the EPA. Sure. And there was Washington, D.C., there was Seattle, Washington, there was Miami, Florida, there was New York. And on this list, I don't know to this day why I did that, but I wrote a line and put in the words Atlanta. That wasn't an option. And when they said, I got Atlanta, everybody was upset. They said, because we didn't know that was an option. I didn't know it was an option. I just put it up there. And when they printed the sheets for the internship, they made a mistake and left Atlanta off.
No way.
I get to Atlanta, I internship at On My Productions, and then it just goes further. God had a plan all along, and I had no idea.
You know, you've always, you have your own radio show.
Indeed.
Here in the Atlanta market and area. And, but you've always been very intentional when it comes to your faith.
Yes.
What you believe, and it's extraordinary. We don't have the time to talk about it because we both get all mixed up, messed up in that, But you know what I want to close our segment with, Katie, is your voice is like yours. The great James Earl Jones. I'm sure he's someone that you admire.
Very lofty.
Very lofty. I listen to you and I hear James Earl Jones and that deep bass, that powerful voice, prominent, powerful voice. When I think about voices in our segment, I was thinking about, voices that need to be heard. You're a voice that need to be heard. How can you convey to our young people, or society in general, that there are times when your voice can be heard, and standing up for causes and matters that matter in our society? How important is having the right voice when it's appropriate and not feeling as if, I am crossing the line? Yeah. But how do you accomplish that?
Well, you'll know when you are passionate about something, and you'll also know when to speak and when not to speak. There are some times in which just because it's true, it doesn't mean that you need to say it or that people can hear it from you. But people like you and I, we have a platform, and I think it is incumbent upon us to raise our voices and to speak against injustices. And people need to know that we're more than just entertainers, but when it matters, we can speak up and we can say something. Now, the average person, I feel like I'm average. I got, extra on layaway or whatever, but I believe that when God has put a unique stamp in your life and created you in a very unique way, you have, maybe not the platform that I have, but everybody has a platform there. Absolutely. And when you have your 500 Facebook friends or the people at your church, when you are an influencer, this is how you become an influencer. When you can speak up about things that other people are silent about. And be able to change the minds of people into something positive, and in some cases, unfortunately, something negative. But all of us have a wavelength on our voices. I tell my guys this at Man of Community. All of us have a certain wavelength or frequency that only a certain amount of people are going to be able to hear. Oh, wow. And if you remain silent because you're not a DMO, you remain silent because you're not a Cedric or a KD Bo or a Bishop Jakes, then you are missing out on all of the people that you can impact. Because your voice is the only frequency or the wavelength that they'll really be able to hear. Oh, wow. Which is why when you're in a room with people, a bunch of guys or whatever, you hear the most eloquent one stand up and say all these great things, and people's like, whoa, I'm not going to say anything because I don't sound like him. But guess what? There's somebody who understands ebonics, they know tears and taint very well, but when you speak, you'll make that person move more than anybody else can. So don't be afraid of your voice. I think that we are created in the image of God. We're creators and we're cultivators. So when God speaks, things are created. And one of the tricks of the enemy is to make us shut our mouths. He'll make us shut our mouths when we get into trouble, make us shut our mouths when we're embarrassed, make us shut our mouths when we feel like we don't have enough to say. But the power, and I feel it coming on me, I'm gonna have to pull up. The power is in what you say and being able to speak up and speak to a situation. Not only can you transform it and cultivate it, but you can also create atmospheres. Create scenarios. You can create miracles with your mouth. So if I was in church, I'd tell you to look at your neighbor and say there's a miracle in your mouth. And the only way you'll be able to realize that miracle
ATL. That is the golden voice of the one and only KD Bowl. Coming to you right here on the DMO Speaks Show.
Oh, you're making me sound so
KD, thank you for being a part of the DMO Speaks Show. It's special because you came on board and made it so, my friend. I look forward to hearing you as we go forward.
Indeed, we got some great things that we're gonna do together, man. Love you, man.
Welcome aboard Pizza Hut, where our legendary pan and stuffed crust pizzas will fly you to a world of flavors. Taste an all-American pizza sauce, juicy pepperoni, and farm-fresh mozzarella to discover America's mega pepperoni. Or explore the creamy pesto sauce, chicken and mushrooms in the French creamy chicken mushroom. Fly far above the rest in taste and variety with 5 new pizzas. And thank you for flying, Pizza Hut.
Taking a family of 5 to the amusement park can cost a small fortune.
Oh, yeah. So to save some money, we thought, hey, let's bring the amusement park to us.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
All right, step right up, young man. Are you ready to ride the wacky waterfall?
That's just the bathtub with the shower head running.
Nope, it's the wacky waterfall.
It's the shower, Dad.
Waterfall.
Wacky.
There's an easier way to save. To get a free rate quote, go to geico.com, then buy online, over the phone, or at your local Geico office.
Look, we know that boy's gonna ask again, so let's be ready.
Fine, I'll be him. You ready?
Ready.
Mom, could you hook me up with a GoPhone?
You'll run up the bill, son.
Yo, that's whack, Moms. GoPhone is totally different.
What? It'll only cost me an arm?
Chillax. It has unlimited talk and text.
Seriously?
Word.
Okay, we'll get a GoPhone.
Really? Really? That is the bomb.
Do you even know what the bomb means?
Yes. No.
GoPhone, only from AT&T. With unlimited talk to 65 million wireless AT&T customers, and now unlimited text to anyone on any network. AT&T, your world delivered.
I pass through the trees. I leave behind the mountains. I wave in the air. I fly over the birds. And I wish, when I complete my journey, I leave behind a better world. Honda Civic Hybrid, India's first hybrid car with IV Tech engine. Leave behind a better world.
Man, I dig inner monologues. Hello, hello, hello. Oh, look, a fillet of fish just sitting here in my mind being all delicious. Hey!
That's my sandwich.
What? How did you get in my inner monologue?
Door was open. Give it back.
Man, get your own invisible sandwich.
Any day is a great day for a filet of fish sandwich. And right now at McDonald's, you can get 2 filet of fish sandwiches for only $3.33. For limited time only, prices and participation may vary.
Welcome back, ATL, to the DMO Speaks Show. And it's that time of the show where I have my unbelievable dear friend Antonio London from Birmingham, Alabama, and from Tuscaloosa, there at the University of Alabama. Antonio, thank you for joining me again in Championship Chase.
Roll Tide, DMO, roll tide.
Roll Tide, roll. I totally understand it. You know, Antonio, I get to thinking about our friendship and relationship over the years and all the things that I've learned, all the experiences that we've had together have been many. And now we get to experience life on a different stage in front of a different audience than we had when we played in front of 80, 90,000 people every week. So I just appreciate you joining me every week on Championship Chase.
Man, I appreciate you having me. I've enjoyed it tremendously. Absolutely.
Well, thank you. You know, today's show, Antonio, we've been talking about voices, and we had our special guest in our last segment of Extra Extra. A gentleman by the name of KD Bowl was on board talking all things voices, has just an iconic voice. When you hear him, he'll hypnotize you, you know, with that voice of his, deep
deep bass voice and just an impressive individual. And we were also talking about, the voices that make a difference in our lives, whether they're people we work with and work for, or even coaches that we've played for, or teammates that we've played with. You won a national championship in 1992, played for one in 89, but won one in 92. If there's anybody that understands what championships all about, it's you. But I do know that to win that title, to do what you did, there were voices that made a difference in your experiences there at the University of Alabama. If you would, with our listeners, just talk a little bit about some of those voices and what the whole voice piece means to you as you made your journey through the University of Alabama.
The voices are huge because there's so many of them out there, and the unique thing with the voices to me was always making sure you heard the right one. Because sometimes you hear a lot of different voices that you don't really need to be listening to. So to be able to focus on the voice that makes a difference, the voice that motivates you, the voice that has you do the things that you need to do to be successful was always the most important things to me.
Oh, wow. And I remember, Antonio, your defensive coordinator for the University of Alabama back in 92 on that national championship team. Tell me a little bit about his voice and the things that he would say that would resonate with you and your defensive teammates.
Well, you know what, man, I can't remember the old guy. It was E.F. Hutton or whatever it was, and every time everybody listened. Whenever Coach Bill Oliver was to say something, even if it was just a everybody would stop and pay close attention and take heed to everything that he said. And that was the one thing that Coach Oliver did that was so special. I remember right before the Florida game years ago, he had come in and he had Florida written all over his drawers, underwear, boxers, or whatever you call them that day. It was just amazing the things that he'd done to make sure that we heard his voice and paid attention to the things that he had to say.
Oh, wow. How about that? And all the guys obviously recognized what he was after, no doubt. How about voices? We're parents. I'm a parent. You're a parent. We have parents listening to our show. What can you say to parents when it comes to their voice, the voice when their children hear them? What that means in terms of even staying connected and plugged in. Our children live with us the longest, and we live with them the longest. And it's amazing the impact our voices have in their lives. Tell me a little bit about any experience or what your thoughts on the voices that parents have as they raise their young people.
Well, the thing that I'll say as far as my voice to my children, and I'm sure you're the same as close as we are, we've been around, is the one thing that I want them to always understand, I think all parents do, is that whatever voice I do use, I want them to make sure they understand that it's always of love and protection. It may come across wrong sometimes, I'm sure, when my voice projects to them, but at the end of it, I just want to make sure that my kids always understand that everything that I say, everything that I project to them is out of pure love and pure protection for them.
Oh, wow. How about that? Protection and love when you speak, that they are never misconstruing or misunderstanding what your purpose is when you have dialogue, and sometimes what we call tough love even, or dialogue that challenges them either in their area of behavior or their decision-making processes. So Antonio, that's absolutely powerful, and I do want to take a minute and just say thank you for taking the time to call from Birmingham, Alabama. I know you're running an amazing company over there with Championship Enterprises, and taking the time away from that to come in and call and give us your expertise in our segment of Championship Chase. Thank you for calling in, Antonio, and I look forward to talking to you on next Monday.
Thanks for having me.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Hey, Thirst, can I try out a few Coke Summer sound effects on you? Yes. Cool. You okay with this? Yes. And this? Yes. And what about this? Gotcha there, Thirst. That wasn't sound effects. That was a Coke. I'm no longer thirsty. You're so out of here. Coca-Cola. Open happy.
Morning face. You get it when you don't sleep well. This is what happened to Linda.
The
Morning, guys.
Good morning. Ah, what is that thing?
It's me, Linda.
Oh my God, it talks! Run!
No, it's me, Linda from HR.
It looks hungry! Save the children! Save them! Stay back, I've got mace!
Ow, that went in my eyes.
Quit moving!
It's called beauty sleep for a reason. And there's never been a better time to get some.
Get 20% off IKEA Sultan mattresses. IKEA, love your home.
Bottomless fries with every burger, all day, every day, starting at $6.99. Not to get all legalish, but that's like from now until forever. Or until your wife tells you to stop.
Ed Robin. Yum. Dinner, dinner, dinner. Every day you have to think of what's for dinner. Well, now Subway has a solution that is sure to please every person you have to feed for that last meal of the day. It's called Dinner Tonight. Every day after 4 p.m., Subway is offering a Dinner Tonight special, which includes 2 regular 6-inch subs, 2 bags of chips, and 2 21-ounce fountain drinks, all for just $11.99. This offer is available all day long on Sundays. Subway of Kodiak. Eat fresh.
And one of my very favorite segments on the DMO Speaks Show is obviously our segment, Call Y'all, where I get the opportunity to really speak with my very important listeners all over the great state of Georgia, here in Atlanta, and all of our neighboring states as well, and really, quite honestly, all over the country. And on the phones we have in this segment of Call Y'all is Randy from Auburn, Alabama. Randy, welcome to the DMO Speaks Show.
DMO, thank you so much for taking my call, and I appreciate you taking a few minutes of your time to listen to my question.
Well, Randy, I want to thank you. And you're not taking my time. I feel like I'm impeding on yours. Thank you for just taking the time to do this, and I certainly do enjoy talking to our listeners. So give me your question and your thoughts.
DMO, I have a really, really interesting question. I get a chance to, in what I do, to be around a lot of young adults, some of our youth, college students and beyond. And one of the things I've noticed in today's time, and DMO, I'll try to be quick, but it's a good question. I often notice that due to having access to so much, when you look at television, you may see a great talk show host like yourself, DMO. You may see a student athlete or an athlete or somebody in the business world success. Now, I've often noticed that there's a gap between sometimes people's reality of how to get to that place and their goals in the process to make it. And so my question, Derrick, is what would be some of your advice to a lot of our college students, young adults, or anybody that wants to get somewhere and achieve a goal or pursue a dream or a passion, while at the same time putting proper goals and steps in place? Because I often like to encourage them, but I do feel like sometimes at the same time there's a sense that we must help them pursue or get to that place with proper steps and just being achievable, making achievable goals along the way. What would be some of your advice to that? I know that's a long question, but just some deep thoughts on mine. And I'd love to hear your thoughts on that, DMO.
Thank you, Randy, for the question. And certainly I can tell you that I don't ever want to minimize a young person's aspirations or inspirations. Certainly when you watch television or radio or you hear about success stories on talk shows from some of our most famous and high achieving people, a lot of times as a young person, you want to do the same thing. And you feel that there's a gap between where they are and where you are, and that chasm is so massive. But I don't want to bridle their enthusiasm for seeing positive examples and role models of success. And sometimes we see those on television, we hear about them on talk shows, but it does need to be really taken in its most appropriate order though. But it's important also to talk about the realities of those success stories, because in most cases we see and hear about the location or the place these individuals have arrived, but there's a lot of work that goes into getting to those places. And I think it's just important to have very honest conversations about the very rigor that's involved in climbing the mountain or soaring to heights you can't possibly imagine, or maybe you can imagine. So as long as we're honest, having positive conversations, we're not dream killers. We're not trying to kill anybody's dreams. But I think young people in certain stages can accept real accurate conversation or sound conversation better than sometimes we give them credit for. So as long as we stay true to the conversation, that there's a rigor involved in climbing any success ladder, and those individuals that they're watching and seeing on television, they didn't just all arrive there, nor do you know the very specifics of their route. So it's important, as long as that conversation is happening, we're real about that conversation, giving young people real answers, accurate answers. I think it gives them a better chance to understand what they need to do to go in those directions.
Well, DMO, I've known you for a long time, and I'm excited about what you just shared. And just I don't mind sharing that the thing you just explained is one of the things you did in my life, and just keeping up with your history and being a part of what you've done over the years. You've been a voice in my life as well, and I appreciate you having hard conversations with me, DMO, years ago when I was at that age. And so I appreciate what you're doing. I'm thankful for the opportunity that the metro Atlanta area far beyond has a chance to hear you speak, man.
Thank you, Randy. That means the world. And again, please call back again. It's callers like you that keep us on the air. And I do appreciate you calling with your question. Thank you, and we'll be in touch.
It's O Rewards Member Appreciation Month at O'Reilly Auto Parts. Stop in today and check out store-wide savings, plus earn double points on over 225 items. It's our way of saying thank you. If you're not already a member, sign up today during O Rewards Member Appreciation Month. It's fast, easy, and free. O'Reilly Auto Parts. Better prices every day.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
The following is an important time-insensitive announcement from Staples. Now, for an unlimited time only, Staples is drastically cutting their everyday prices on hundreds of products your business needs. That's right, the clock is not ticking. Walk, crawl, or lollygag to Staples, and you will not miss this opportunity. These are everyday price cuts. Take a 4-pack of AA Duracell batteries, was $4.79, now just $2.99. But act now or later, because these Staples everyday price cuts will be around for a really, really long time. Price cuts like a 2-pack of Scotch Magic Tape, previously $4.79, now just $2.99. And Scotch Packaging Tape, now just $2.29 for today, tomorrow, and pretty much every day till the cows come home. But don't hurry. These everyday price cuts are indefinite. To repeat, these prices will last. So stop by your nearest Staples whenever it's convenient and take advantage of these normal, continuing everyday price cuts. Thank you.
I pass through the trees. I leave behind the mountains. I wave in the air. I fly over the birds. And I wish, when I complete my journey, I leave behind a better world. Honda Civic Hybrid, India's first hybrid car with IV Tech engine. Leave behind a better world.
And it's called, y'all, my very important segment where I get to have conversation with my very important listeners. And on the phone right now from Birmingham, Alabama is Patrick. Patrick, welcome to the DMO Speaks Show.
Thank you, DMO. Great to be on. Great to hear your voice and know how positive and how encouraging you are.
Well, that means a lot. And of course, likewise, I just thank you so much, Patrick, for, I know you very well. And over the years, we've had a chance to work together, even in the Atlanta area. And now to see you doing things now in the Birmingham area as a head football coach and obviously raising your family. You know, everybody in the Knicks family, just talented people, and I get to brag on you everywhere I go around the country. So I thank you for supporting the show, calling in, and just having a little small chat time with me.
Well, it's a pleasure, and you have meant a lot to the Knicks family, and we're just very blessed to have a lot of people around us that support us and encourage us in every step of the way.
Oh, wow. Thank you so much, Patrick. I don't know if you've got a question or a comment you want to make, but I'm all ears.
Well, I think the biggest thing, I just think that, as a parent, as a coach, I've had the experience to be around a lot of players and a lot of, in my own personal kids, just the importance of staying positive with them and speaking truth into their life and trying to, that key word to me is word faith, just faith, just believing in what you're going to do. And as parents and as a coach or whatever, how can we continue to help build that faith component in them to help them believe in what they're doing, that they can do whatever they put their mind to?
Oh, wow. It's a great question, and I often talk about faith-based topics. And I do believe that faith in our God, faith in our Maker, is the highest level of confidence we can have and the highest place in which we can then begin to believe in having faith in ourselves, faith in what we're trying to do, faith in where we're going, faith in what we're trying to accomplish. But it first starts with faith in Him. And if that exists, then that faith is then redirected where we can then have faith in ourselves or in any endeavor we're attempting. And there is no mountain that can't be climbed. There is no river that can't be swum. And there is no track that can't be ran. When that happens, there's this unbelievable level of confidence, not cockiness, not arrogance, not an overindulging of believing in oneself, but in the person in which we've placed that faith, and that's redirected and give us what we need to meet every challenge and to go into it with as much confidence as we can muster.
Wow, that is so good. I couldn't agree with you more that such a faith, we have a faith in something bigger than us, that it allows us to do even the greatest of things to the smallest of things. But wow, that's very good advice, very good word, to make sure that we have faith in something higher than ourselves to allow us to be able to do those things.
Oh, wow, Coach Nix. Patrick, I want to thank you again for taking a minute to call in. And the last time I was in Birmingham, you gave me the great fortune of being able to talk to your team. And when I do that, that's my button. The buttons to push with old DMO, Patrick. That gets me excited talking to those young people and your coaches. And it's just an awesome, and your dad, Coach Nix, who you got all of your start and lessons from. What an unbelievable father you have. And now you're passing that on even to your kids. Patrick, call in again someday. Let's have more conversation. And in the meantime, we're going to be cheering for Bo over there at Auburn. Go Tigers, War Eagle. We're excited for him.
Thank you, Derrick, and you're welcome in Birmingham anytime.
Thank you, sir. Bye-bye.
Hey, Thirst, can I try out a few Coke Summer sound effects on you? Yes. Cool. You okay with this? Yes. And this? Yes. And what about this?
Yes.
Ha! Gotcha there, Thirst. That wasn't sound effects. That was a Coke. I'm no longer thirsty. You're so out of here. Coca-Cola. Open happy.
Taking a family of 5 to the amusement park can cost a small fortune.
Oh, yeah. So to save some money, we thought, hey, let's bring the amusement park to us. Yeah. Go ahead.
All right. Step right up, young man. Are you ready to ride the wacky waterfall?
That's just the bathtub with the shower head running.
Nope, it's the wacky waterfall.
It's the shower, Dad.
Waterfall.
Wacky.
There's an easier way to save. To get a free rate quote, go to geico.com. Then buy online, over the phone, or at your local Geico office.
Welcome aboard Pizza Hut, where our legendary pan and stuffed crust pizzas will fly you to a world of flavors. Taste an all-American pizza sauce, juicy pepperoni, and farm-fresh mozzarella to discover America's mega pepperoni. Or explore the creamy pesto sauce, chicken and mushrooms in the French creamy chicken mushroom. Fly far above the rest in taste and variety with 5 new pizzas. And thank you for flying, Pizza Hut.
I have Jackie on the phone from Dallas, Texas. Big D. Jackie, thank you so much for calling in to the DMO Speaks Show.
You're welcome.
Thank you very much. Well, again, this is our segment of the show where we get the opportunity to talk to listeners and callers from all around the country In this segment, we get to just talk about the theme of the show of the day. We've been talking about voices, and this, as it pertains to voices that we can hear and voices that stand up for causes and experiences. But certainly, I welcome all callers with any question. Doesn't have to pertain to the theme of the show. It could even be a comment about the show. And so I'm all ears to hear your thoughts here on the DMO Speaks Show.
Okay, my question is, how can you take off again when the first time I didn't get off as high as I would like it?
Okay, and Jackie, I had a little bit of a snag. And say your question once more for me. I'm so sorry.
My question is, how can I take off again when the first time I didn't get off as high as I liked it?
Okay, again, it's not always, usually the first attempt at anything, we want to be successful. We want to look good and sound good, and we want other people to see the success that it was. But to be quite honest with you, it doesn't always work according to those plans and objectives. And I found that having to get back up and pursue it again is a test of our individual's fortitude, their commitment and belief in whatever they're thinking about, dreaming about, wanting to accomplish, and not losing and getting discouraged and fearful to try it again. So when you're thinking about doing it again, that tells me something, that you didn't let the first episode hold you back, hold you down, and keep you from believing that the second opportunity could possibly be better than I can imagine. So I want to say, to do it is to believe that, it's okay to not have it work out the way I want it to the first time, but it's not going to take from me my passion, my belief in me, that I can actually do this. All I have to do is get up and try it again.
Oh, that sounds fantastic. I would take your advice and definitely listen to everything that you had to say, because I really do need that inspiration to try again and to reach my high potential.
Oh, wow. And that's the word, potential. We're all reaching for it. And Jackie, I believe if you believe it, then in the end of the day, that's the most important belief you need to have, is the belief in you. Jackie, I want to thank you so much for calling the DMO Speaks Show.
You're welcome.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
O'Reilly.
It's O-Rewards Member Appreciation Month at O'Reilly Auto Parts. Stop in today and check out store-wide savings, plus earn double points on over 225 items. It's our way of saying thank you. If you're not already a member, sign up today during O-Rewards Member Appreciation Month. It's fast, easy, and free. O'Reilly Auto Parts. Better parts, better prices every day.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Morning face. You get it when you don't sleep well. This is what happened to Linda.
Morning, guys.
Good morning. Ah, what is that thing?
It's me, Linda.
Oh my God, it talks! Run!
No, it's me, Linda from HR.
It looks hungry! Save the children! Save them! Stay back, I've got mace!
Ow, that went in my eyes.
Quit moving!
It's called beauty sleep for a reason. And there's never been a better time to get some.
Get 20% off IKEA Sultan mattresses. IKEA, love your home.
And my next caller in my segment, Call Y'all, is Brian. Brian, thank you for calling in to the DMO Speaks Show.
Not a problem, man. I'm glad that you called in and talk with you. I enjoy talking with you.
Oh, outstanding, and so do I enjoy talking with you. And of course, you're a repeat caller. I recognize the voice, and certainly thank you again. I don't know if you've got a question or comment for me today on the DMO Speaks Show, but Brian, I'm all ears.
I tell you what, it's getting harder and harder to get in contact with you. I've been trying to call in, and the line been busy, so I guess your ratings are going up.
And ratings are important, Brian. And I appreciate you having a hard time getting in. As long as that's happening, we're doing pretty good.
That's right.
That's right.
Yes, I just want to talk a little sports with you today. Usually I have other issues to talk about, but I want to talk a little sports today. How about that?
How about that? I'm going to follow you. I'm a big sports guy, so let's go.
You know, I was wondering what the Falcons, what do you think the Falcons should do with that first pick? Should we go offense? Should we go defense? I know we're struggling on the offensive line and defensive line. What do you think about that?
Well, I tell you what, being a Falcon fan right here in the ATL, I love our organization. I'm big on supporting our Falcons. And, when it comes to the draft, it's not an exact science. You don't always nail it. You try to do your homework and investigate as much as possible what to do, what decision to make. And I wouldn't want to be in Thomas Mitchoff's seat up there in Quinn's right now as they're thinking through what player to select that's going to be a part of the brotherhood. But I can tell you this, I think, just from a Monday morning couch coach, anytime you're going to draft a player, you win football games, Brian, up front. It's offensive, it's defensive line. When you've got those big boys up front that can move people and can get by people, that's where your football team is developed. So I'm hopeful and optimistic that we're going to go in the interior line. We had some issues on the offensive line last year. I do know we've brought in some free agent offensive linemen. I'm not sure about the depth of the defensive line. I'm hopeful that we can address that as well. Maybe in this draft, this is a big, deep draft on the defensive line. And we should be able to get a quality player. And I'm not sure if we're picking 14th or 15th. I'm not sure. But if we're picking 14th, certainly I'm optimistic and hopeful we'll go get a D tackle or a rush in.
Yeah, I feel the same way. Another question. As far as the ACC, do you think it's going to be anybody able to compete with Clemson?
Now that's a question. That's a question for the ages. I can tell you this, Clemson is in a class of their own, the defending national champions over there in Death Valley. And anybody that goes in there finds it very difficult to get out with a victory. But, because you did it the previous year don't mean you'll do it the next year. And every season's different. Every opponents change personnel. People know you better. They study you harder. New players have got to be plugged in to replace talented players that you lost. So nobody can really say that, Clemson won't be able to be kept up with because, quite honestly, they're going to discover some things about their team along the way. They're very talented, of course, great football coach in Dabo Swinney. But I would say that every week is still going to be a dogfight. And I certainly think that the conference is getting better and better. And so I'm looking forward to seeing what Clemson looks like as they plug in new players to replace the ones that they lost. So I think if they can do that like they usually do, they'll still be among the very best in the entire ACC.
Right. Thanks for answering my question.
Hey, you're welcome. And thank you, Brian, for calling the DMO Speaks Show. You are one of my favorite callers, and I look forward to hearing from you on the next time that you chime in.
All right, talk to you soon.
Bye-bye.
The following is an important time-insensitive announcement from Staples. Now, for an unlimited time only, Staples is drastically cutting their everyday prices on hundreds of products your business needs. That's right. The clock is not ticking. Walk, crawl, or lollygag to Staples, and you will not miss this opportunity. These are everyday price cuts. Take a 4-pack of AA Duracell batteries was $4.79, now just $2.99. But act now or later, because these Staples everyday price cuts will be around for a really, really long time. Price cuts like a 2-pack of Scotch Magic Tape, previously $4.79, now just $2.99. And Scotch Packaging Tape, now just $2.29 for today, tomorrow, and pretty much every day till the cows come home. But don't hurry. These everyday price cuts are indefinite. To repeat, these prices will last. So stop by your nearest Staples whenever it's convenient and take advantage of these normal, continuing everyday price cuts. Thank you.
Bottomless fries with every burger, all day, every day, starting at $6.99. Not to get all legalish, but that's like from now until forever. Or until your wife tells you to stop.
Ed Robin. Yum.
Welcome back to the DMO Speaks Show. Can you believe it, ATL? We've come to the end of another episode of the DMO Speaks Show. The hour seems to fly when you're having fun. And man, did we have a lot of fun today. How about our special guest? How about Katie Bowe? the voice, the golden voice of the ATL, right here live in studio on Extra Extra. I can't begin to tell you about the motivational moment. Every time I can get to talk about the great James Earl Jones, I've certainly have my hands full discussing him. But as we wrap up the DMO Speaks Show, I want to thank you so much for having lunch with me every Monday from 12 to 1. And now we're going to get ready to make our exit. We'll see you back on next Monday for our next show. But before we leave, we want to leave you with a montage of the DMO Speaks Show today. So thank you again. Look forward to you tuning in every Monday on the DMO Speaks Show, and make certain that you clearly make your voices heard. James Earl Jones, this iconic actor in movies, where the voice of many generations. He's got a voice that spans some 60 years, and it's captivated us all. It resonates, and immediately you pause and you feel like you're hypnotized. There are a handful, just a handful, a small sample of golden voices we get to be exposed to.
Like you and I, we have a platform, and I think it is incumbent upon us to raise our voices and to speak against injustices. And people need to know that we're more than just entertainers, but when it matters, we can speak up and we can say something. But I believe that when God has put a unique stamp in your life and created you in a very unique way, you have, maybe not the platform that I have, but everybody has a platform there. And when you have your 500 Facebook friends or the people at your church, when you are an influencer, this is how you become an influencer. When you can speak up about things that other people are silent about.
We were not blessed with an easy path. We never asked for one. Easy softens the will. From humble beginnings, we've put in the work. Knocked down, but we get back up. We pursue the dream. How we respond to adversity defines who we are. We're all an extension of each other. Our resolve is strengthened from the lessons of defeat. Devastated, rebuilt. Our unity was born from necessity, a brotherhood. Our standard defines who we are. We persevered when nothing came easy. Even in our greatest accomplishments, we tasted bitterness. Now I know I'm preaching to the choir, but the hardship and the pain, those are the prerequisites to the greatness we seek. So we pick ourselves up, we move forward, and we learn from our history. We come together, we bond as one. Our bond, unbreakable. Our spirit, relentless. It's in brotherhood we trust. In brotherhood we fight. In brotherhood we rise. We seek something greater than ourselves, the ultimate prize. Rest assured, others will stand in our way. But they can't know, they can't understand our resilience, our resolve. They can't know the purpose that unites us, the standard that we uphold. They can't know the force we've become in brotherhood. It's in brotherhood we trust. In brotherhood we fight. In brotherhood we rise.
I passed through the trees. I leave behind the mountains. I wave in the air. I fly over the birds. And I wish, when I complete my journey, I leave behind a better world. Honda Civic Hybrid, India's first hybrid car with IV Tech engine. Leave behind a better world.